Welcome to Math Grade 4, and this is a brand new unit. We are finished with decimals, and this unit is called Algebra, which is a very big word, but you're going to find out it is not all that scary. So today we are going to be talking about multiplication and division. But before we start, I want you to think, if I have this and this and this, we'd say that orange, pink, and purple are all colors. You're right. In math, we have things called operations. We have mathematical operations, and there are 4 mathematical operations that you have learned. I'm hearing you saying them. Addition is one of them. You're right. Aha! Subtraction is one. Multiplication is an operation. And division is an operation. So if you ever are asked what operation are you going to do and it's in math, you say, oh, I need to decide if I'm going to add, subtract, multiply, or divide. So in our first question, we need to divide this so that the same amount of apples, these are lovely apples, are in each box. So I'm going to pick the volunteer of Mrs. Van Andel to do this for us. So she is going to figure out how to put these 6 apples so they're equal in each box. I don't know how to do this. Well, I could go just do this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And that would use them all up, and I found out that 2 go into each box. So what strategy did I use to figure this out? I just went and put them each in a box. I made one box, next box. Some of you might have been looking at this going, oh, Mrs. Van Andel, really? There's 6 of them over here, and there are 3 boxes, and 6 divided by 3 equals 2. And that was another way of figuring it out. So what you're really doing here is you're doing 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. This one, I have all these apples, and I need to put them in equally into these squares. And I even want to use that word. I've got these apples, and I want to divide them equally into these squares. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 squares. Look at this. There would be one group. Look at, they're all neatly lined up over there. So that means I would have to put 3 apples in each group. There we go. 3 apples in each group. So 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3. So my addition problem for this would be 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 12. I have one more. I have 6 apples and 2. So 6, 2 into groups, that would be 3. So I'm going to put 3 apples in each box. So I would say 3 plus 3 equals 6. So I used the operation of dividing to figure that out. And I did it in a bunch of different ways. Here I just took one at a time and put them in there. Here I made them into groups. And here I actually thought about 2 times what equals 6. So there are different ways that you can be thinking of to put them into your boxes. Okay. The next sheet, we are going to have you do some exercises on your own. So you're going to pause it in a minute and you're going to do this. So first we'll read the instructions. It says draw the same number of circles in each box. Write the equation for the picture. So here's your picture and there's the equation. So pause and figure it out. Okay, you're back. So I have 4 boxes and I have to divide these, and there are 12 there. 12 divided by 4 is, oh, look at that. You can divide it into 4 groups, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have to draw 3 circles in each box. I hope that is what you figured out as well. So 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 12. Ta-da! Here I have 3 boxes and I need to divide these into 3s. And I could go, by 3s. I'm going to count by 3s. How many do I have here? 1, 2, I got 15. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So that means I have to draw 5 circles in each group. And some of you are saying, you know, isn't it? I just knew that. And it's like, that's great. But there are different ways that you can figure it out. So those would be my 2. And I hope that you got those as well. So now we are going to say, just look at this for a minute. You've been doing this. Multiplication is a short form of repeated. What am I doing here? I am repeat adding. So here I'm doing 1, 2, 5 times, how many times? 3 equals 15. Here I've got 4 times 3 equals 12. So multiplication is just a repeated addition. So here you're going to rewrite the sums as products. So this time you're not going to write them as, not going to figure this out, you're going to be rewriting them as products. And products means you are going to be doing multiplication. So you're going to be making a multiplication problem. So pause and see if you can turn these all into multiplication problems. Okay, so I'm going to look at my problem here, and I know I have 4s, and I have 1, 2, 3 of them. So that is 4 times 3. Here I have 5s, and I have 1, 2, 3 of them, so it's 5 times 3. Here I have 10s times 1, 2, 3 of them. Here I have boxes times 1, 2, 3, 3 of them. And so those would be how I would write those into multiplication. Now if I go back to this sheet for a minute, and I was to rewrite these, I could do this as well. I could say that this was 3 times 2 equals 6. Or the problem could have been, I have 3 boxes. How many are going to go in each box so it would equal 6? Here I could say I have 4 boxes. How many do I have to multiply by to get to 12? Or in here I could say I have 2 boxes times how many would equal 6. So I can make my multiplication, I could turn these into multiplication problems instead of addition problems. So I could have said, I have 3 boxes. What am I going to put in each box so that it equals 6? So 3 times 1 equals 6. Okay, that's moving on. So now I have to solve the equations using this diagram. I have to figure out how many apples are going to go in that box. So it says I have 4 boxes. So how many are going to be in each box so that it equals this many? I have to divide these into 4s. There's 1 4, 2 4s, 3 4s. No, I did that totally wrong. Oh, I divided it into 4 groups. Yeah, I did that right. And each one has 5 in it. So 4 times 5 equals 20. So I could go 4 times 5 equals 20. Here I have 15. So I'm going to divide those into 5 groups. All right, divided into 5 groups. How many are in each group? 3. So 5 times 3 equals 15. I'm going to do it without the picture this time. So 4 times what equals 16? 4 times 4 equals 16. 5 times what equals 25? 5 times 5 equals 25. So what happens if this was my question? Is this question, is it going to have the same answer? Yes, it is. In multiplication, it doesn't matter what order you put the numbers in. They are always going to be equal to the same number. So you could have 7 times 6 equals 42 and 6 times 7 equals 42. So it doesn't matter, just like adding, it doesn't matter what order you put the numbers in, it's always going to equal the same thing. Now dividing and subtracting are totally different stories. Don't try to do that with dividing or subtracting, because you'll get a totally different answer. So in order for me here to figure out how to put these into groups, what operation am I going to do? Am I going to add to put these into groups? Am I going to subtract, multiply, or divide? And I agree, you're going to divide when you're going to put these into groups. Okay, I would like you to pause the video and we're going to come back and you're going to try some activities on your own. So pause.